Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to welcome Shane Lowry to the interview room. Shane, you're with us today partly because of your historic win in Royal Portrush of the Open Championship last year. Can you tell us a little bit about what it meant to you to win so close to home?
Yeah, it's I mean, it's something that I'll never get sick talking about. It's something that I feel very privileged to have done. You know, to get the opportunity to, let alone play the Open Championship in Ireland, but to actually go and win it and do it the way I did in the style I did, and you know, to be able to enjoy that walk down 17 and 18, it was just you know, kind of looking back on it, and I do look back on it every now and then, and I kind of look back on it with like so many fond memories and kind of pinch myself a little bit because it's, you know, like I said, it's just something that I feel very privileged to have been able to achieve that in my life.
Well, that's great. Shane, you had a good performance in Houston at the weekend, and this is your 5th Masters. So what kind of preparation have you done? And you played yesterday, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, I had a good week last week, and I felt like I played okay at Wentworth and in Vegas, and I feel like my golf is in a decent place. You know, coming back to Augusta, obviously it's, you know, it's my favourite place in the world to play golf, without doubt, but it's somewhere that I've never had much success, you know, so this is my 5th Masters, and I can't, you know, don't think I've ever shot too many great rounds around here, so I'm hoping the time of year kind of changes my, my look around here, and like, you know, probably coming in with a bit more form than I ever really have. So yeah, I'm hopeful for the week ahead. I do feel like my game's in a good place. I played 9 holes yesterday. I feel like the course is great. You know, we're going to get a bit of rain, which everybody is going to say that's going to suit me. But you know, we'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, I do feel like my game's in a good place after a decent week last week in Houston.
That's great. Listen, best of luck this week. I'm going to open it up for questions.
Thanks, John.
Scott?
And have you identified maybe what it is that hasn't clicked around here for you? I know everybody studies what they've done in the past. Is there one thing that hasn't worked, especially since you like the place so much?
Yeah, I mean, well, everybody loves here. Like, there's whether you've had success or not around here, I think this is probably the majority of people's favorite place to play golf. But it's, I've never driven the ball well around here, and that's kind of strange. You know, and I've struggled on the greens in the past, so it's kind of, you know, a bit of both, but I don't think I've ever come in with any form. You know, coming in April, I've almost coming off the back of, like, say, the World Match Play and Houston before, and I've never really done that well there, and it's kind of, yeah, I've never really come in with much form in here, and I feel like I'm playing okay coming in this week, so I'm hoping my luck's going to change a little bit. Like, all I can do is really kind of try and prepare as best I can the next couple of days, and go out there on Thursday and just be kind of, you know, just be aggressive and just be, you know, smart as well, and just kind of be aggressive when you need to be and stuff like that. And like, I've never played the par 5s well around here, and anybody knows, you know, Augusta, you need to play the par 5s well to shoot a decent score. So I kind of have my eye a little bit on those this week, and hopefully I can get out there on Thursday and get off to a good start. And look, you never know what could happen then.
Doug?
Things for you. I remember a couple of years ago, Adam Scott, you know, being the first Australian to win, and the significance of this tournament in Australia. He said no matter what he did the rest of his career, how many majors he won, what have you, he could never top a moment like that. And I wonder if you feel the same way, given what you did at Portrush last year.
That I could ever top Portrush?
Yeah.
I think, yeah, I'll struggle, but if I have a chance, it'll be around here. You know what I mean? Like, to be the first Irishman to ever wear the green jacket would be pretty special. So that's probably one of the only things that could top it. And like, look, obviously I'm very, you know, I've worked very hard all my life, and I've, you know, really put my mind down to it, and I achieved something very, very special last year. And yes, I probably won't ever top that, but if it is, it'll, you know, maybe be around here. I think, you know, to wear a green jacket would be just very, very special. So I think to be on par. So we'll just wait and see. But I'm not going to talk myself up too much. I'm never really one to do that. I kind of just go about my business the way I always do. And if I give myself a chance on Sunday, look, I know I can pull something like this off.
If someone back home who knew just a little bit about the Masters but not much, and asked you what are some of the coolest traditions about this tournament, what would you tell them, and what will you be missing this week?
Oh, well, I'm going to, especially now that I have a daughter, I had the best time ever at the par 3 tournament last year, having her around. I made a hole in one on the second, and just the buzz around there. I'm certainly going to miss all the patrons around the place, the roars and the buzz. But I do think that this is going to be a special Masters. I do think that this is going to be pretty cool in itself. With no ropes out there, no grandstands. The visuals are a little bit different on some holes. But the big thing I'm going to miss is the par 3 tournament. I think Wednesday afternoon every year is pretty cool to go out and do that, and it relaxes you and it takes your mind away from the job at hand, gives you a few hours off, and it's just something really nice.
John.
Thanks, John. I was just curious, with this year, with all that's been going on socially, politically, COVID, to the extent to which golf is as much or more of an escape for you, as well as a living, and how that's been also from the standpoint of playing without crowds, especially being here and not having any of the patrons on the grounds. But does it feel more like an escape? Does it feel like a way to get away from all that we've been surrounded with this year?
I don't think so. I think anytime I step on the golf course in between the ropes, I know I'm doing my job, and I know I'm out there to do my best. So I've never stopped trying. Look, I've definitely missed having the crowds around. There was only 2,000 people a day in Houston last week, but it was pretty cool having people around the place. Just there was a little bit of a buzz, and that just shows how much we probably miss playing in front of the fans, because it's 2,000 people a day is not much at all, but it did feel like there was a good buzz around the place. So I've missed all that, and I do think it kind of affects people in their own way, and I probably miss playing off the crowd a little bit, but when I step in between the ropes, I'm there to do my job, and I know that, and it's not been any escape for me at all. But it is kind of look, everyone thinks 2020 is a year that everyone's going to be happy to see the back of, but it's going to be a very special year for someone come the end of this week. So, hopefully that's me.
Shane, I've got a remote question here. It says, Shane, as you noted, your victory was so memorable for fans in Ireland and inspiring to a younger generation. Do you have any notable memories of the Masters from your youth?
Off the top of my head, I only started playing golf at the end of the 90s, so Tiger Woods era when Tiger started, winning his Masters, and I'm watching him, and I know myself and my friend used to go to each other's houses every weekend, and any weekend Tiger was playing, and we'd sit and we'd watch every shot that he'd hit. So just watching Tiger around here, that chip in on 16, I don't even know what year it was. What year was that? But no, stuff like that. I just remember, watching him, and obviously, Cabrera sticks out. Players like that. Even watching, Mike Weir and Zach Johnson, all the Masters I've watched over the years. It's definitely in Ireland, as well, John. In Ireland, the Masters that's the golfing season started. Is normally the weekend of the Masters. That's when everyone, gets the clubs out of the garage and dusts off the cobwebs and gets out and starts playing, because that's when the weather starts to go from about 6 degrees to about 12. So it's, and it only rains a little bit rather than loads. So it's kind of, that I always remember playing the West of Ireland was around the same time as the Masters. So, that's kind of the memories I have.
Brilliant. David?
And just wonder, now that you've won a major, do you go into the other ones feeling more relaxed, or are you putting extra pressure on yourself because you want to be a multiple champion?
Personally, in my own head, the way I feel, I don't think it's any different. you know, I've always put pressure on myself to do well, and probably a little bit too much pressure at times. You know, what have I played? I've played the US Open and PGA since the Open. I don't think I've put too much pressure on myself playing those. I feel like I went in, you know, a decent frame of mind. My game just hasn't been as good as I maybe would have liked it. So yeah, I dearly love to win another one, and there's no doubt about that. And do I think I can? Look, it's hard to win them because, you know, the top of world golf is so strong at the minute. So, but if I put myself in a position, you know I can get the job done on a Sunday. But you know, it takes a lot of stuff. It takes a lot of. You need a lot to go your way to win one of these. You know, you need to come out with your best golf. You know, for me especially, you need to come out with your best golf. You need to get your breaks along the way, and you know, you need to hope that the top 2 or 3 players in the world don't bring their A game as well. So it's kind of, yeah, you need quite a bit of stuff to go your way. But you know, I'm going to go out there and give it my best like I do every week, and you know, hopefully at some stage I'll get another one. But if I don't, look, it's not the end of the world, is it?
Jeff?
Shane, hi. You say no Irishman has won the Masters, no? And
Sorry?
no Irishman has won the Masters yet. I mean, you could be the first one. Did you look back? What would be is there a reason that you think is the course? You think it's the time of the year, like you said? Is it too early in the season for an Irishman? Maybe November is better?
Well, we never really, like, Porrick had a great chance. I remember one year, obviously Rory 2011. I mean, back in the day, Christie Senior never came over and played because it was too hard to get over, wasn't it? Yeah. So, you know, maybe he would have had a good chance. You know, and it's just, I suppose, but only no Irishman, you know, only one Irishman had won a major up until 2007, right? You know, Fred Daly, isn't it?
That's right.
Yeah. So, you know, we've punched above our weight over the last 12, 13 years, but before that we kind of didn't really. So, you know, I never know. Hopefully this year is our time.
Shane, I got a remote question from Bernie Maguire of the Irish Star. Said, Shane, what is your practice routine for the remainder of the week? And of the holes you've played, do you have any standout as different in November as opposed to April?
I'll play the front 9 today, and I'll probably play a mixture of the front and back tomorrow, depending on weather conditions. The forecast is not great. I personally don't look. The grass is a little bit different in places, but I don't think it plays a whole lot different. That's just my opinion. So. You know, we played yesterday. The greens were starting to firm up a little bit yesterday. Look, obviously we've got rain on the way, so that's going to change. But I don't think it plays a whole lot different than it does in April. I think the course is in great condition, and you know, as Augusta always is, and you know, it's kind of, for me, it's the same anyway.
Perfect. Jeff?
And you kind of had a laugh up front about the fact we might play in a little rain this week. I know you've played it in plenty. What if it does come and the elements play a big role? What's the mental challenge of that?
It's just hard. I mean, playing golf in the rain is just hard, and it's not nice, and no one likes doing it, and everyone jokes that you know, I love it, but I don't. I hate it. But I'm able to deal with it because I've done it before. You know, you just kind of, for me, you have to. There's little things that I do when I'm playing in the rain, like I hit shots quicker. Especially off the tee, you know, so the ball's not getting wet and the driver's not getting wet, and you know, just stuff like that. And you just need to be careful. You need to be safe. You need to not make, you know, really silly mistakes. But it's kind of just more of a, you know, managing your way around the course when the weather gets bad, as opposed to, you know, trying to do anything drastic to change.
Scott?
And I know through the U.S. Open, you spent a long time away from your family. And you got to go home after that, and it's been maybe a bit of a more normal routine. Has that helped you, maybe mentally, coming into this week? And who might be your +1 here this week?
Well, yeah, look, I got to go home and see my family, but I think I've only spent 2 weeks with my family over the last 14 or 15 weeks, which is not easy. And my coach is there. I don't have a +1. My coach is here with me, but I don't. My wife's not here or anything because our little girl's in school, and just coming over and the quarantine and all that when we go home and stuff is just not, you know, it's not doable. So, Yeah, look, it definitely helped me going home. And to be honest, I don't think I should have done the 9 or 10 weeks away from home because it was too difficult in the end. But look, it's something that tried and tested and failed and won't happen again. So, you know, like everything in life, you kind of live and learn and move on. And I'm playing here this week and I'm playing next week at the RSM and then I get to go home. So, yeah. But, you know, they're the reason, my little girl is the reason I get up every morning and play golf, and they're the reason I go out and try as hard as I can to win tournaments. And, you know, it's just small sacrifices, and, you know, at the end of the day, they're not big sacrifices, but it is small sacrifices you have to make to try and do well in this game.
Doug?
Something Jeff said, just I wanted to clear something up. Even as a youth, did you ever play in the rain on purpose when you didn't have to?
No.
Never?
Never.
All right. That's all I had.
Yeah,
I'm proud of you.
I'd look out the window and I'd stay where I was. Yeah, never.
That's it. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thanks very much. Shane, thanks very much for your
Cool.
time.
Thanks, guys.
Best of luck
Thank
this
you.
week.
Cheers. Thanks, John.